Um, Hello, cool master. How you doing? Hope you're doing good. If you are, great to hear. Don't worry about my name. It's all right. I've been doing good. Thanks for asking. Been a little bit since I've streamed. So hello guys. Hello everyone. How you guys doing? Hope you all are doing well because it is Friday. So happy Friday to every one of you. So we're seeing some very interesting stuff out in the tropics in the Atlantic basin at the moment. So, um, so 8:33, Brad. Go ahead. So, all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with this. This is just a stream I'm gonna do just for today. Well, I mean, I'm gonna also do a stream tomorrow, updating you guys on what's going on. But anyways, as we can see, we got two. Well, we don't have just one, but we got two tropical systems. We actually have a tropical storm Laura, which has actually formed. It's actually right now hitting the Lesser Antilles as we speak. And we also got Tropical Depression 14 out right here, right on the Honduras coast, right there, which is going to be moving into the Mexico area here and then move out into the Gulf. And here's the thing. We're about to see a very, very, very rare occurrence happen. And this is basically, well, both of these are going to be in the Gulf of Mexico at the same time as a hurricane, which that's very rare. I haven't seen anything like this. Well, I haven't seen anything like this. So, Hurricane Cat 1 is 74 miles an hour, indeed. But the one that's really grabbing my attention right now is Laura. So let's actually go and take a look at this. And it's not even Cat 1, it's a tropical storm, but it is said to be a Cat 1 hurricane. So here's what we're seeing for Laura. This is Laura's wind path, by the way. Some of this here, this is all Laura's wind path. Probably should not have. Yeah, about that. That's Laura's wind path. This other wind path here is 14, potential Marco. So, as we can see here with the purple, we see 90% chance with, or 90% chance for tropical storm force winds. So that's for right here. When is it supposed to reach 74 mile an hour winds in Laura? Actually, I'll get to that in a bit, or in a second. So right now I am reviewing the wind probabilities. We're going to take a look at hurricane force wind, and as we can see here, this is actually from both, as I know. So yeah, around here is when it actually becomes Or that's when the 5% hurricane force wind risk erupts. So something to keep in mind there. It is supposed to weaken down to a tropical storm, I believe. Let's actually go and take a look at the cone forecast now. And here's the cone forecast. And as we can see, I probably shouldn't have said that it would weaken down to a tropical storm whenever it makes landfall, because we don't know that 100%. This one actually says that it's going to be making landfall right here as a hurricane. So as we can see, a lot of these islands here, including Puerto Rico, Cuba, Dominican Republic, they're all going to be seeing direct impacts from this storm. So, and this will lead up all the way up to Louisiana, but it's not 100% that it's gonna be this exact path. We do not know that yet. Right here, I do pretty much think it is going to happen, but it's all this here that I'm kind of uncertain about. A lot of people are actually uncertain about this. So that's something to keep in mind. Let's go ahead and take a look at the wind history. Tropical storm force winds, of course, right there for one of the islands right there in the Lesser Antilles. So, and this is for Tropical Storm Laura. And this isn't, as I said in the beginning of the stream, this isn't, gonna be it. There's another tropical system brewing just off the Honduras coast, just north of Honduras, which is probably going to be Marco, Tropical Storm Marco, Hurricane Marco, potentially. It's going to impact Texas, the Texas coast. They both actually have a chance for impacting the Texas coast. So, right now, saying it's going to impact Louisiana. But some models I have heard saying are kind of doing something kind of like this. So that'll be interesting to see later. It could even really affect the west coast of Florida here. It could really affect this whole area here. So pretty much the whole Gulf Coast. Well, all of these people here are potentially, the whole Gulf Coast is potentially going to be under the gun for these storms. So, is either tropical storm system producing winds in excess of 150s? No, 50-mile-an-hour winds, as I saw. So, we actually do have tropical storm warnings all right here, and tropical storm watches for right there. Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Haiti, St. Croix, Virgin Islands. They're all under a tropical storm warning for this tropical system moving over their way. So, let's actually now go ahead and get to tropical storm or tropical depression 14, which will potentially be tropical storm Marco. So now we're getting into this one, because this is it's a double trouble right now. What we're seeing in the tropics at the moment, it's double trouble. So as we can see here, this is the chances for tropical storm force winds. This is actually all for potential tropical storm Marco. Some of this here, this is actually from Laura, as we saw before. So, yes, some of the coast here, actually Louisiana, or some of Louisiana is actually in a 30% risk for tropical storm force winds from Marco and potential Marco and Laura. So let's going to take a look at the cone here. We actually do have tropical storm warnings in effect for Mexico right there, as we can see highlighted in the blue. It is said to become a hurricane on Monday at 2 p.m. and then weaken whenever it does make landfall on 2 p.m. Tuesday. So yes, landfall in Texas. This one will make landfall in Texas potentially. This one we're kind of more certain about than Laura at the moment, because it is pretty far out. Laura's pretty far out, so but yeah, Category 1 hurricane on 2 p.m. Monday, so something to keep in mind. So let's actually go ahead and get to actually the GFS model here, so we can actually see some of the radar from this. And as we can see here, actually right here is Marco. And then that does go to Texas. That's right there. And then as we can see here, this is Laura, and it looks to be a much stronger storm than potential Marco. So, and this actually shows it will make landfall in Louisiana, very close to Texas. It actually does. It rides up the Texas and Louisiana border right there, as we can see. So, and this is Laura. So, it does actually look to be impacting the Florida Keys. So, yeah, that's something to also keep in mind is the Florida Keys. Florida, the whole Gulf Coast is right now at risk for being affected by a tropical cyclone. And yes, yet again, very, very rare occurrence, as we're seeing in the Gulf of Mexico, and that is 2 tropical cyclones being in this Gulf of Mexico at the same time, which is pretty rare. I don't think I've ever seen something like this anyway. Live anyway. I don't think really anyone has for a long time. So a very, very unusual occurrence, as we're seeing according to the hurricane tracks. So let's actually go ahead and take a look at the wind. Windy.com. Very great website. You guys can actually check it out by going to windy.com. I can actually put it in the chat for you guys. I'll do that right now. But yeah, so as we're seeing here, this is right now As we can see here, this is kind of obvious that this here is 14, Tropical Depression 14, and this here is Laura. So pretty obvious there. But as we can see here, by 12 p.m. on Saturday, we can kind of see that those winds really do strengthen up. And those look to be at around 49 gusts, so pretty gusty winds in this. So at this point, it's probably going to be a tropical storm Marco. And then obviously right here, it is a tropical storm Laura, which will move its way up and over all of these islands right here: Cuba, Haiti, Puerto Rico. But yes, yet again, the question is, it's mainly with Laura, will it ride, or will it impact? Well, it's pretty much got a chance for impacting all of these areas here. And actually, let's add in that as well, Houston, or Texas, because it does have a chance for impacting Texas as well. So very uncertain to see, or it's kind of uncertain. We're not 100% sure where this is going to go exactly. Marco, we're a little bit more certain about, but yet again, Laura, or Marco, potential Marco, we're more certain about, but Laura, we're less certain about for where it's going to exactly go. So something to keep in mind. Always keep up to date with the tracks, because things could really change. Tracks could really change from these tropical cyclones, and they always have, always in the past, and especially now. There's probably going to be a lot of changes with the paths in the near future with these two tropical cyclones. So, but this is what we're seeing at the moment. By around the 23rd, we are seeing that the winds of potential Marco have moved up and above Mexico there, and at around the 24th of August, we are seeing that the winds get very close to impacting Texas, and then at around the 25th, it does impact Texas there. So and this here is, of course, Laura, which is going to be, well, it is more organized than what we're seeing with 14 potential Marco. So yeah, something to keep in mind really there. So just going to take a look at the wind accumulation, and as we can see here, we can see that those paths of the storms really well. This is, of course, potential Marco, and this is, of course, Laura. And as we can see there, yes, it is making landfall in Louisiana, right there. Let's not say that, please, Brad Callahan. And another thing to actually keep in mind as well is the sea surface temperatures, because we are seeing very warm sea surface temperatures, and that is around 88 to 90 degrees. So we'll take a look at that. This is right now, and as we're seeing 87, 86, 88. So that's very warm. So very good for tropical development. Also, with the moist air and lower wind shear, that'll cause some stuff too. But there is some wind shear in the Western Gulf, so that's probably why Marco will have a bit of a harder time developing into a hurricane. So something to keep in mind there. Wind shear can really destroy these tropical cyclones, and that's the thing. Mainly, they're the one. It's the thing that's mainly that'll mainly destroy tropical cyclones. So anyways, so yet again, we're not certain about these tracks of these tropical cyclones because we're kind of far out. It's a little far out. Of course, Marco, we are more certain about, but Laura, less certain about because, of course, it is far out. So, but the whole Gulf is right now at risk for getting impacted by a tropical cyclone within the next week or a week and a half. So, let's actually take a look at the millibars. 1,007 millibars in Laura at the moment, Brad. I could see it going into the 900s whenever it does make its way into the Gulf, because it is going to be a hurricane whenever it gets to the Gulf around here. But yeah. And another thing is, now I gotta point this out as well, is what we're seeing out here, and we are potentially going to be seeing, or there's a potential for something to go on out here. 20% chance of development within the next 48 hours, and then within the next 5 days, 20% chance as well. So it'll be quite a bit until this one does form. Maybe it'll die out and not form at all, but just to be safe at the moment, it's not going to form within those times, as I said. So I see it's not going to go into the 800s, Brad. So if any of you guys do live on the Gulf Coast, please get what you need. Get food, water, because you don't know what's gonna happen. Stay safe if this does make landfall in your area. So and Category 1 hurricane can still do a lot. Even tropical storms can do a lot. What we saw with Isaias, it did a lot. It certainly did do a lot. So but anyways, whether if it does, would it be an extremely strong hurricane or not? Doubtful. Well, I shouldn't say doubtful, but it's more likely not, in my opinion. But could form into something. Well, both of these could form into something pretty big, but we're not 100% certain about that yet, because it is not time for us to. Well, it's it's far out for us to know. We are certain that these are going to be, well, 14. We're kind of certain it's going to be a tropical storm. Of course, Laura's already a tropical storm. Projected to be a hurricane whenever it does get to the Gulf of Mexico. So, and probably a lot of questions, or probably a question that you all would probably have is this: would it go up the East Coast? The answer to that is most likely not, because we do have a high pressure system all out here, which it's pretty much it's out in the middle of the ocean, but it's gonna, or out in the middle of the Atlantic, but it's gonna track westward, and so that'll pretty much just push it off into the Gulf. So it's just gonna ride around. It's gonna ride around the high pressure system that's right now out in the Atlantic. Let's actually go and take a look at that, because yeah, here's our high pressure right there. This is on August 25th. Let's go back to what we're seeing now. So this is what we're seeing now. There's the high pressure all right here. There's Laura. So basically what it's going to do is that this is going to push westward, and then this storm is pretty much just going to ride under it, and then it's going to push it into the Gulf. And it's going to pretty much ride around it. Let's go ahead and just take a look at that. So yeah, there it is. Actually, it does form out west right here. And then, yeah, as we're seeing, it rides around all the high pressure systems that do form. So that's something to keep in mind, is the high pressure systems, as we're seeing right now. This does look to be a, well, once again, it does look to be a fairly decent tropical cyclone right there whenever it does make landfall. So it is potentially going to be quite a big one, but it's not 100%, well, we're not 100% certain about this being major just yet, because it is far out. But this does actually have it tracking and going into, or making landfall in Louisiana, right next to Texas right there. Anyways, if you guys want to join the Discord server, link is in the description. We'd be very thankful of you to join it. You guys can ask questions about the tropical cyclones there if you would like. We'd be happy to answer them if you want to know anything about what's going on right now in the tropics at the moment. Again, very rare occurrence that we're seeing with these paths. Two tropical cyclones in the Gulf of Mexico at the same time. Rare occurrence right there. We don't see this very often. So, this is what we're seeing right now with all the future models. This is the GFS model. This is what the GFS is saying. And another thing is flooding. These will bring a major flooding potential for the areas of impact. So that is something to also keep in mind. Flooding is a major thing. Storm surge, another major thing. Very dangerous, because basically what it is, it's rushing water that goes onto the shore, and it can be how many feet up or not, or how many so I can't talk right now. I cannot. Oh, hold on. So so storm surge is basically rushing water on shore, and it can be as many feet. Like, it can be 3 feet, 6 feet. So I wouldn't. We don't know much about the storm surge yet, because, of course, too early to know that at the moment. So, but anyways, let's actually get back to this here for last time. Show you guys the track here. Well, here's a projected path, and as we're seeing here, it is making multiple landfalls. Cuba, Haiti, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, St. Croix making very close, and then potential landfall somewhere in the Gulf Coast. Right now it's saying that it's going to be making landfall in Louisiana, but we don't know that as for a fact just yet. Too early to know that. So, and it could really like, the track could really shift east as well, and it could really impact Florida a lot too. So that's another thing to keep in mind, is that it could the path could potentially shift east and then impact a lot of Florida. So So at around 2 p.m. Saturday, it will pretty much be over Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. It'll probably be over the Virgin Islands before that, probably around 8 a.m. or around 8 a.m. Tomorrow. It'll probably be over the Virgin Islands. Around 2 a.m. Sunday, it'll be over Dominican Republic. Again, all these areas here are in a tropical storm warning, and then these islands here are in a tropical storm watch. So, that's what we're seeing with Laura. And this is the one that's really grabbing my attention right now, because it is more organized, and it looks to be like it's going to be a bit stronger, or quite a lot stronger than Marco, as we're seeing on the GFS model. I should probably say this too. You guys are probably wondering, will Marco and Laura collide? The answer is no. There's this thing called the Fujiwara effect, which is pretty much two tropical cyclones coming together and then looping over each other, kind of like a little loop-de-loop. I hope that makes sense. So that's what the Fujiwara effect is. So we could potentially be seeing that with the twin storms here. So one last thing I actually do want to cover is rain accumulation. So actually, yes, I'm gonna do rain accumulation now. Show you guys what we're seeing with rain accumulation as of right now. And of course, all this here is Laura, and this here is Marco, coming very close. So this will be interesting. So of course, in the pink, we're seeing around maybe 4 to almost well, actually 8 to almost like 10 or 11, actually just over 10. So that's what we're seeing in the pink, and that's quite a lot of rain. So yes, of course, big flooding potential in these tropical cyclones, as we're seeing right now. Or I mean, all tropical cyclones will bring flash flooding potentials. So anyways, so that's what I'll go ahead and discuss for today's stream here. It wasn't very long. I wasn't planning to make it long. I was only planning to make it like 30 minutes. Just discussing what we're seeing at the moment. So if you guys haven't, please subscribe to my channel, like the stream, and turn on post notifications so you guys can get notified for my latest streams. Also, once again, join my Discord server. Link is in the description. Would be very thankful if you did join that. But anyways, this is what we're seeing at the moment. Very rare occurrence. So, whole Gulf Coast is right now at risk for getting a tropical cyclone. But anyways, I will be, of course, live tomorrow again at around maybe 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. So stay tuned for that, please. Hopefully I'll get more info from all that's going on. So, but anyways, I am going to end the stream here. Thank you all for watching, and I will probably see you all tomorrow at around 6 or 7 p.m. I will see you soon. Peace out, everyone. Stay safe.